Okay. I just want to talk about some of the factors that affect the fiscal climate that we're in that affect the budget process. I will have a larger presentation on the tax levy cap down as we progress through the budget calendar that's set out.
Can you put your microphone on? I'm sorry, Sharon. If you guys sat here and you heard this thing in your ear, you'd be saying the same thing.
I just can't believe I'm not loud enough.
No one ever told you that.
The calculation for the tax levy cap allows for you to deviate from the allowable levy growth factor, which you see in the second from the bottom bullet, is 1.26% for, that should say 17-18, as compared to last year where it was 0.12. You can deviate from the 1.26 if your pension contribution rates are an increase of at least 2%. However, neither of the pension contribution rates is in excess of 2% going into 17-18 from 16-17. We actually have a decrease in the ERS contribution rate. The estimate now is at 15.3 as compared to 15.5 for last year, and the TRS rate is continuing to drop down as it has in the past couple of years. Dropping from 11.72 for the 16-17 year to the range of 9.5% to 10.5%. Another factor in the tax levy calculation is how much has the brick and mortar construction changed, which creates the base for assessing taxes in the district. It's at a flat 1.0. down slightly from the 1.0008 that it was for 16-17. And also there will be the capital tax levy exclusion possibly if the difference between our building aid and our debt service warrants that. This just shows that one piece where it's that's highlighted at 1.26. It'll be easier to see on the next slide. How the allowable levy growth factor is calculated every year for entities such as school districts where our year end is June 30. The CPI for all urban consumers is averaged out for the whole calendar year to arrive at what the allowable levy growth factor was. So that just came out now. That's the 1.26 that I told you about. And you can see at the end of this graph the 1.26 for 17-18 and the fluctuations that we've seen in that allowable growth factor over the past several years. The executive budget came out, the proposed budget. I'm sure many of you heard about that. Of note is that our foundation aid is up 1.2% over the 16-17 amount. All formula-based aids are up 2.48%. However, that's really skewed. A more realistic number to look at is 0.90 because when you apply, when you start a construction project, you have to file your initial form. The filing of that, which includes an estimate for the cost of the project being done, triggers for that building aid to be included in that total formula-based aid amount, which you will not actually see the aid for if you don't have your final cost report in, if you don't have your substantial completion in, which is like a certificate of occupancy for a house. So I need to back out that building aid when I'm doing the tax levy calculation for those projects which will not be done as of June 30, which means we will not get the aid that's included in that number. So some of these things are a little misleading. This is pretty accurate, the 1.2 and a 0.90% increase in total formula-based aid overall, based on the estimates we have so far. This gives you an idea of where the formula-based aids have gone over the years. You see a big jump from 15-16 to 16-17 because of the ending of the gap elimination adjustment. We see that enrollment is declining. The variations between the years aren't as large as they look in this graph. It's been, in the 1 point something range from year to year. This year happens to be the largest drop from the preceding year at 2.2%. But overall, all of these drops average out to 1.7
Per year?
per year. I mean, I could tell you what it is for each year.
No, that's okay.
We have a
I
projection
just wanted to
for
clarify
next
what you
year.
said.
Okay. While we're all grateful that the gap elimination adjustment is over, that just means they stopped taking it away on a current basis. That doesn't mean all of these amounts, 3.4 million, 6.8 million, and so on, from the 6 years from 10-11 to 15-16, which total up to that last bar of almost $2 million. That doesn't mean that's ever going to be given back or was given back. They just stopped. Look, we don't see these bars anymore. There's not a bar for 16 and 17. So that's quite a chunk of change. We're glad they stopped taking it, but they never gave it back. This is just the projected calendar that I'll be following for my future presentations as we move toward our budget vote, which is May 16th. This is the process. And this presentation will be up on the website, so you don't have to try to copy all this down.
I'm done.
That's just
Should have started with that
better
one.
background. Okay.
Thank you, Sharon.
You're welcome.
And you have